Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany. This is the Brittany Reacts Show, and on this show we talk all things entertainment news and movie news. Today it is all entertainment news. That's pretty much the only thing to really talk about today, but I still found some really fun topics to discuss. I want to thank you all for coming here. Again, hi Scorpio Shadow, hi Evil Connor, hi Nintendo Gaming Chair, hi Some Person Skywalking, hi Cheetah Viper, hi Black Star, hi Jake Calico, hi Shelly Lee, hi Nintendo Gaming Chair. You've been a member for a month. Thank you so much. Pre-Elon Musk's Twitter allowed worldwide criminal Christopher Boozy to violate international privacy laws such as GDPR via bot Sentinel since 2018. You know what, Nintendo Gaming Chair? I understand all of those words separately. Together in a sentence, I have no idea what you're asking. This sounds like Elon Musk is up to something again. I have no idea. I'm sorry, but thank you for the comment, though. All right, everyone. Like I said, we have a lot of fun things to discuss. We're going to talk about Barbenheimer. There was a new variety actors on actors thing that just that just popped up. I just actually literally just finished watching the whole thing. We're not going to react to the whole thing or anything like that. I'm just going to bring up a couple of highlights. We also are going to talk about the fact that Disney is sending Pixar movies to theaters next year, like the ones that just went straight to Disney Plus because of COVID. So it sounds like they have a plan to try to turn Pixar around. So we're going to talk about that. Also, seems like RDJ is definitely not coming back as Iron Man, or maybe he is and they're lying. I don't know. But we're going to talk about that as well. But those are the discussions, or those are the topics we have today. So let's just get straight into it. Anyway, like I said, I want to start with Barbenheimer because we just had Cillian Murphy and Margot Robbie in a Variety's Actors on Actors interview. This is a series Variety does where they get various actors and they have them meet in an interview and they discuss and they talk. And I thought this was just another great Barbenheimer moment. You guys know I talked about Barbenheimer a lot over the summer because it really was just a huge cultural moment. So I'm glad that they got these two actors together, and they I don't know if they coordinated this ahead of time, but I like that he wore black and she wore pink, so they were part of the whole Barbenheimer thing. But if you're curious at all, it is a really good interview. I do recommend actually watching the interview if you like these people at all. They're both very charming and personable. A few highlights from this though. Apparently, they just talking about the whole Barbenheimer phenomenon. This is what Margot said. She said, "This is the world doing this. This isn't part of the marketing. I think it just connected in a way I or anybody never could have imagined. It may never happen again." They briefly talked about the Barbenheimer phenomenon and how they both realized it was something organic that they couldn't force. Like, it wasn't the marketing teams teaming up to work on this. It was really just we, the people who created this Barbenheimer phenomenon. So it was nice to hear them talk about this a bit. I honestly don't think we'll ever see something like this again. I think this is just, I think the appeal of a very, very pink feminine movie paired with a very, very bleak movie about a nuclear holocaust. I think having those two movies come out at the same time is just such a unique mixture. I don't see this Barbenheimer effect really being replicated at all. So they're definitely right. It was from the people. It wasn't a marketing gimmick or anything. It was just a fully organic thing that I think is really special and we'll probably never see again. Do you guys think we'll see the Barbenheimer phenomenon for another 2 movies, or do you think this was just a very unique situation? Okay, Josh is excited for the Holly Bailey and Rachel Zegler interview. That is going to be a very interesting interview. I'm curious to see what we get out of that one. I see a lot of you guys are excited to see the Pixar movies in theaters. I might see one of them. We'll see. The Blue Gecko Nerd says, "So does this mean that we'll get a Barbenheimer movie? When will it happen?" I don't know. The way that Hollywood's been going lately, where they want to make a movie off of practically any real life event right away. They're making a George Santos movie. They're already fighting over turning Britney's new book into a movie or whatever. I feel like someone's gonna make some sort of documentary or something on Barbenheimer. For sure. But other things that they talked about, Cillian Murphy says that just seeing that a lot of people go to the theater as either Barbie and Oppenheimer was really great for cinemas as it was. Also, apparently, Margot talked about that apparently people were pushing her to move Barbie's release date. And this is what she told them. She said, I was like, we're not moving our date. If you're scared to be up against us, then you move your date. He's like, we're not moving our date. So it sounds like Margot was getting pressure from people over in Oppenheimer's camp to move their release date. And I'm glad that she stayed firm. I'm really glad that she wasn't bullied off of moving her movie, because obviously having those two films released on the same date helped both of them massively. So it would have been dumb for them to move their movie. But also, I think it's a little offensive too that they were like, no, Barbie, you have to move, when I think it became very clear that Barbie was going to be the bigger movie. So if any movie moved off of this release date, it should have been Oppenheimer, but I don't think Christopher Nolan's pride would have been able to take that. So honestly, it worked out that both of them released on the same date. It's crazy, though, that they were trying to get Barbie to move, which is insane to me. Josh Loves Movie says there's a Barbenheimer movie on the works. What? A Barbenheimer movie? Well, like I said, Hollywood is not wasting any time these days. That doesn't surprise me at all. Brandon WTF says, I want Oppenheimer to show up in a Barbie 2 post-credit scene. Okay, this is what I want for Barbie 2. I want Cillian Murphy to play a Ken. I want him, even if it's just a cameo, even if it's just for one scene, he's got to show up for just like a quick cameo. I just want to see Cillian Murphy as a Ken and his dumb little Ken shorts hanging out on the beach. I just think it'd be really funny and a nice Easter egg for the movie. Not the sit down meme, y'all. y'all play too much. Maiden says the fact that they tried to move Barbie instead of their own movie to be released before and after also proves the Barbie movie. Almost proves the Barbie movie. Oh yeah, you're talking about the patriarchy. I know, it's like if either of these movies were gonna move, it should have been Oppenheimer, because clearly Barbie was gonna be the bigger film. So it's like, why does the girl movie have to move, huh? Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm glad that she put her foot down and said no. I mean, it worked out for both of them, so I don't know why they were pressuring them to move it. But speaking of Barbie 2, I don't think Margot was sure yet, because, again, I just watched this interview, and she did say that even though she knows a lot of people are expecting a Barbie 2, it's like I think she feels nervous that the sequel would never be able to live up to the hype of the first one, which is pretty understandable. So she's like, I don't know. I mean, I would like to go back on set, but like, I don't know if we can top what we just did. This was her exact quote. She said, we put everything into that first movie and it's so good that I'm like, oh no. But at the same time, I'd do anything to be back on that set again. I think if they do have a Barbie 2, they probably won't even announce it until after the Oscars, because I've been seeing a lot of like official pundits talk about the fact that the Oscars this year could be another Barbenheimer matchup. Like, it could literally be Oppenheimer versus Barbie. Maybe Poor Things, maybe might get some Oscar attention, I don't know. But I do think it's probably going to come down to these two main movies again. So if the Oscars are all about Barbenheimer and Barbie does get a lot of Oscar attention, I do think it deserves it. They probably are not going to announce any sort of Barbie sequel until they at least get their Oscars, because I think if they announce a sequel ahead of time, it'll turn Barbie into a franchise thing and not like a prestige original picture, which is what they're trying to sell it as. So I think we probably will get a Barbie 2 announcement, but I don't think it's going to be like announced until they start getting at least Oscar nominations. But we'll see. Okay, Danny doesn't want a sequel. Okay, who would be interested in a sequel? Shelly Lee says, forget Barbie, forget Ken. I want to see the story of Midge and Alan. If this were Disney, I feel like they'd be making a Disney Plus show on this very, very day, like this very second, there would be a Midge and Alan show in production right now. I guarantee it. Hi, left one for you. Jaden's Toys Vlog says, don't make a sequel. Oh no, it seems like a lot of you guys don't want a sequel. Interesting. No sequel? Most of you are saying no sequel. Well, as I mentioned, I don't know if they should, just because I think Barbie captured a cultural zeitgeist moment that I don't know can be repeated again. If they do want to continue with the franchise as a brand, because I understand Barbie's too successful to just not touch again, according to Hollywood. Like I said, I think a good way to follow up on Barbie would be to make a Ken movie, like make a spin off Ken movie where Ken is the focus. So it's not a direct Barbie sequel, but it is still in the same Barbie world. Like you have a Barbie movie and then now we have a Ken movie. I feel like that could be a way to expand the world without having to make like a direct sequel, but I don't know. Would you guys want a Ken movie? Okay, Shout Joe Fanatic says a sequel would be interesting. Okay. Uh, Tintamix says, what would Oppenheimer 2 be? The Cold War? I don't think there's going to be an Oppenheimer 2. I think we can safely say there will not be a sequel to Oppenheimer. At least, God, let's hope not. That would mean very, very bad things for the real world if there were a sequel. Okay, Josh wants the Ken spinoff. Okay. Ken movie sounds fine. All right. Danny is a maybe. Okay, so it seems like most of you guys agree that maybe we should just have a Ken spin-off movie. Oh, Georgie thinks there's going to be a Barbie reboot in 20 years. I think there's going to be a Barbie reboot in like 10 years. I don't think they're going to stop making Barbie something. I just hope that they don't ruin it. Like, I hope that they don't take this really great, amazing original film that they made out of love. Because you can tell, as Margot was talking in that interview, that she really cares about this property. I don't want this to just turn into like another like hollow cash grab franchise where they just release sequels because they know people are going to turn up. That would be really sad if that happened, but honestly, as long as Greta Gerwig is involved, I have a lot of faith in it. So if they do announce a Barbie 2, as long as Greta Gerwig is directing it, I'll still watch it. I'll still have faith. I'll still be excited, but yeah. I understand why Margot would be nervous, not going to lie. Any other thoughts on Barbie before we move on to the next topic? Okay, Jaden's Toys, you don't want any more Barbie or Ken. Okay. Star Film Studios says, sure, but making feel like a ripoff, but in a good way. I hope the sequel wouldn't feel like a ripoff. Edgeman says, I want a Barbie life in the Dreamhouse live action. Is that a Barbie cartoon? I haven't seen any of the Barbie cartoons. Scorpio Shadow says, because of how many people see the Barbie movies as anti-men if they make a Ken spinoff. I mean, people really like Ryan Gosling. Like, girls really like Ryan Gosling. So girls will still show up for the Ken movie, but then I think maybe more guys would feel, like, bold enough to want to see the Ken movie in theaters. Because I know a lot of guys were, like, embarrassed to go see Barbie in theaters so that they didn't. But I think maybe they'd feel a little bit less embarrassed if they went to go see a Ken movie. So I don't know. I still think a Ken movie could do really well. But moving on to the next topic. So I wanted to talk briefly about just the future of the industry because as I've been mentioning, movies overall kind of have been declining in relevancy. So the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer just dropped and it did like huge numbers. And I bring this up because I don't usually talk about games that much, but I'm bringing this up just because it's getting so much attention, so much hype. I mean, it broke the viewership record for any video and it got the most views for any video on YouTube in the first 24 hours for a non-music video. It passed 108 million views in 24 hours. Those are insane trailer view numbers. And again, I bring this up because I'm like, if less people are going to theaters or less people are willing to watch movies, what are they doing instead? Well, it looks like they're willing and ready to play GTA 6 because this looks like it's going to be like do really well. I know a lot of people have been talking about it. There's been a lot of hype. I know this game has been coming for many years now. People have been waiting for it, anticipating it. And I'm just like, when is the next time Hollywood is going to get this kind of hype for anything? Like, they just had Barbenheimer. That had a lot of hype to it. But when are they going to get the next Barbenheimer level event? When are they going to get the next event that can even match the hype that GTA 6 has, you know? Like, I feel like Hollywood used to be the ones that can get like this kind of hype for any new project, and now it's the gaming industry that's getting all of the interest. So I just thought that this was very interesting and maybe a sign of more things to come, because I'm seeing more and more records being broken for these games, and I think that's really where a lot of people's attentions are these days. Is anyone excited for GTA 6? I'm actually going to play it. I've only actually watched, because I told you guys I'm only recently starting to get into gaming. So I've only watched other gamers play GTA 5. So I haven't ever played a GTA game myself, but I think I'm going to play GTA 6. So this would be my first one to play. So I'm actually looking forward to it myself. But is anyone else? Oh, Lysandra, you're literally taking off work to play this game? This is what I'm talking about. Hollywood needs to be able to like find some sort of property or make a property that can generate this kind of hype, because people are taking off work to play this game. Like, Hollywood just does not like get movies that have this level of interest anymore. Not since like Barbenheimer, and I don't see any other movie except maybe Deadpool 3 on the horizon that could get this same level of hype. Like, this is insane. These are really insane numbers. Miss Olsen will try it. Okay. Oh my god, Georgia, you're taking the week off of work to play this? The entire week? Oh my god. Maiden says GTA 6 ain't gonna be as impactful as GTA 5, but it's still gonna be cool. Why do you think that? I don't know. I mean, I am just starting to really get into the gaming space this year, and even I feel the GTA 6 hype. I think it's gonna be huge. Yeah, the map does look crazy. Um, Nicholas says after Marvel moved past its expiration date, that's when Hollywood got reduced in the zeitgeist. Oh, Nicholas, that's an interesting theory. Do you guys think that Marvel's decline is also contributing to like an overall decline in the industry? I mean, there is an argument to be made that Marvel kind of was like the only thing really keeping people interested in going to theaters for a while. And even when they weren't going to a theater to see Marvel movies, they were still at least like kind of aware of what was coming out because they were waiting for the next Marvel movie. So now that people aren't interested in Marvel movies as much anymore, that also could be why people are less interested in going to theaters in general. I hadn't even thought about that. That is a very interesting theory, Nicholas. Um, Tentamex says that's a good idea. Take a vacation for a video game. Just stay at home with your cat and a warm tea and play for a week. I mean, I do know what it's like to get really into a video game. When the Hogwarts Legacy game dropped earlier this year, because you guys know I'm a massive Harry Potter dork, love Harry Potter. So when the game came out, I was like, oh, I'm playing that. And I got so obsessed with it, I wouldn't stop playing it, like pretty much until I got almost at 100%. Because I was just like, oh, I gotta explore around the castle, I gotta explore the lands and all of this stuff. So I totally get it. When you get into a game, you do not want to stop. Nintendo Gaming Chair, thank you so much for the super chat. Brittany, I recommend Watch Vital titled is bot sent. Oh, no. Brittany, I recommend Watch Vital titled is bot Sentinel and breach of GDPR data protection law. My black belt barrister. Is this a video? This is a YouTube video? Is this the title of the YouTube video that you're getting me? Oh, by Black Belt Barrister. Is that the name? Okay, I'm trying to like piece this super chat down to understand it. You're recommending a video. Is it about Elon Musk? I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll look it up. Thank you for the super chat though. I'm really trying. Georgie says, yeah, I took a break from my boyfriend when Hogwarts came out. Dang, Georgie, so you take gaming seriously. You're like, no, when a game comes out, it's like my entire focus. Okay, I get it. Anyway, Robert Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. Brittany, are you going to play the Avatar game when it comes out this week? Hell yeah. Wait, this week? Wait, the Avatar game? No, that doesn't come out this week, does it? Wait, no. Avatar game. I am literally looking it up right now. No, what? I totally thought this was coming out next year, like early next year. I had the release date all wrong for this. Well, then heck yeah, I'm definitely playing the Avatar game. I'm super excited for that. Thank you for letting me know, Robert. I totally thought this was coming out in January. So yeah, I'm definitely playing the Avatar game. I know what I'm doing next week. That sounds like so much fun. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this up. I know I don't normally talk about video games, but just the hype around this is so real. I'm like, this is the hype that I wish I could be covering for like the film industry. Because like, I gotta tell you, as a content creator who covers movies and like movie news, it's getting like sometimes it's hard to like even find topics and movies that like y'all care about or like y'all actually want to see. So I feel like maybe I gotta start talking about video games too, if this is where all the attention's at. Would you guys want me to start doing that? Eva Connor, Brittany quits YouTube to play Avatar. I really had to look it up because I was like, what? No way. Um, Maiden says, I'm playing the hell out of that Avatar game. It looks so fun. Like, it looks so gorgeous. I can't wait to play that Avatar game. Um, oh, Ajamin, you want an Avatar game live stream? I've never live streamed a game. Also, I play it on my PS5. Like I don't really play games on my PC. I just play it on my PS5. So I don't know. I mean, I know you can play games. I have no idea how to live stream a game, is what I'm saying. Maybe if I can figure it out. I'm not I feel like I've just sort of mastered doing a live stream like this. Adding a game is like a whole extra element. But if I can figure it out, maybe I'll do like a quick live stream of Avatar or something. That could be fun. But anyway, I just had to bring this up. So, speaking of the future of the industry, it looks like, as I've been telling you guys is going to happen, a lot of these streaming services are starting to merge because Verizon is offering a deal, a really good deal actually. They're going to offer you both Netflix and Max combined for just $10 a month, which is a 40% discount if you were to get both of these separately. And this is insane because Max on its own is already like $15, and then Netflix is also like $15-20 depending on which level you get. So this really is an insane discount here. And they're not the only ones that are merging. Apparently there are rumors that Paramount Plus and Apple TV Plus also want to merge. And as you guys know, Hulu and Disney Plus are also merging. So I tweeted this just, I think it was yesterday. I was like, I feel like what's happening here is we're getting all these streaming services to merge together, and one day you'll be able to like surf between them like channels, and we should just call it new cable. Because I think that's where all of this is heading. We're eventually going to have like 5 main like streaming services that everyone uses, and then they're all going to be like grouped together or like bundled together in packages. And then you just probably be able to like surf between them again like channels, and then it'll just be what the new cable is essentially. Like how back in the day you only had 5 TV channels before cable exploded. I think what we're going to see is another contraction where we go back down to just having 5 streaming services. So instead of 5 channels, it's going to be like 5 streaming services. And that's what everyone's going to be watching. Because with all of these streaming services combining, I feel like that is the only outcome. Are you guys here for this? Are you here for all of these services merging? I feel like it was inevitable. We don't need umpteen million streaming services, so I think this is a good thing. But I do want to know what you guys think. I know, right? $10 a month for both Netflix and Max, that is a huge deal. FOF says the streaming wars officially failed. They really did. And you know what's funny? I remember back in 2020 when all of these streaming services were launching. And I was like, oh yeah, streaming is the future. It makes total sense, especially since everyone was at home. Streaming was the only way you could even watch stuff. But now that we're past COVID, I'm really realizing there were so many flaws in the streaming strategy that should have been more apparent from the beginning, and they are all paying for it. Like, the entire industry is paying for streaming, like, literally paying for it. Like, the only streaming service that is actually profitable is Netflix. Everyone else is in the hole They're all in debt over the streaming stuff. Now they're having to merge and contract to stay alive. It's a mess. The whole industry's a mess. Um, Left One For You says it will mean less quantity of content. True. Hopefully, quality will increase, but not by much. That's very, very true. But all of these streaming services combining, and because of these new contracts that we just got because of the strikes, and which means talent is going to be more expensive now. I think what all of this means is we're going to get a whole lot less content than we usually get, like a whole lot less. I think actually that's a good. I mean, both a good and a bad thing. It's a bad thing if you're an actor or a crew member, person working in Hollywood that was benefiting from this big streaming boom where like every service was making like 100 different streaming shows. But I think it's going to be good overall because I think hopefully this isn't a naive approach to this, but I'm hoping that by making less content, then that means that each like individual show and movie will be better. You know what I mean? Like the whole actual quality over quantity thing. I feel like all of this contraction might actually lead to some better shows just because they'll all be making less. Though maybe that's just a very naive prediction. Maybe this means everything's going to get worse because they'll have practically a duopoly or something. I don't know. But I'm choosing to look on the bright side. Jaden's Toy says, oh my god, your mom is broke for paying for this. Oh, I'm sorry. Some person skywalking says there's no way it's that cheap, especially if you won't have any shows to add. There's definitely a twist, probably going to slowly increase the price until there's only $1 difference or so. Very, very true. I mean, for $10 a month for both of those services, they're definitely not going to keep that. That's probably just to get people like initially interested in this bundle. But it'll definitely increase over time. Hopefully not too much, but we'll see. We'll see. I just had to show this because I think it's also interesting for like what it means the future of the industry and like how streaming is kind of already collapsing in on itself. We will see more details and news about this. We will see more merging and, you know, stuff happening with streaming services, and I will tell you guys all about it because that's what I do on my show. But anyway, moving on to the next topic. So now we are finally talking about Iron Man. So Kevin Feige recently said that he is just not going to bring Iron Man back, that Iron Man's story is officially done. This is what he said specifically. He said, "We are going to keep that moment and not touch that moment," again, talking about his death scene. "We all worked very hard for many years to get to that. We would never want to magically undo it in any way." Now, I don't know if I entirely believe this comment. I believe that he wants people to think Robert Downey Jr. is not coming back, and maybe he really isn't. I don't know. But it would make sense for him to obviously lie about it because he would want fans to be super surprised if he ever came back. I mean, think about what happened with Andrew Garfield. He lied all year. People kept asking him about, oh, are you in the new Spider-Man movie? And he kept saying no. So all of these people at Marvel, all they do is lie, especially Kevin Feige. So I don't know if I really believe this, especially since there were literally just rumors like only a couple of weeks ago that Marvel apparently wanted Iron Man back. And even My Time to Shine, who is a known leaker on Twitter, maybe not always right, but I think that they're usually right often enough that I bring them up to you because I think it's at least notable. And even My Time to Shine was like, no, RDJ is definitely coming back. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I entirely buy this statement from Kevin Feige here that he's not coming back. So I'm like, then what were all those rumors about? Maybe here's what I think happened. Either he's telling the truth and they initially did want RDJ back, but RDJ either declined or he wanted more money. And they were just like, oh, we can't pay you that much. So they just said, oh, we're never going to bring Iron Man back. Sorry. Or he's straight up lying and he just wants fans to think they're not bringing him back so that it's a huge surprise when he does. It's got to be one of those two. I'm not sure which, but it's definitely one of those two. Rachel says, yeah, it's not set in stone, for sure. Evil Connor says he'll come back as a hologram AI or some shit. Yeah. I mean, a hologram AI would be cool. Robert Bell says, could they not just get another actor to play a variant? I mean, they totally could get another variant, but like RDJ as Iron Man is so iconic. I don't think just any old Iron Man variant will do because it's not going to be RDJ. Oh, you think this is desperate moves? I mean, he's saying they're not doing it technically, but I don't know if I believe them. Although Robert Downey Jr. does kind of seem like he's done with the Tony Stark character. This is what he said about playing him. He says he's not like he's not like the character. He says, I ain't him. I'm just a effing actor. I'm just a guy who does have a very interesting past, who does not regret it, who wishes to shut the door on it. I think that translates. So he does say that he wants to shut the door on it. So again, he's saying he's done. Again, he could be lying. I'm reminded of Andrew Garfield all over again. But we could just take his words at face value. I don't know. But anyway, maybe he is done. Maybe he's just like, I'm ready to move on. He is getting Oscar buzz for Oppenheimer. I mean, he was just in a film that almost made $1 billion. So he's not really struggling. It's not like all the movies he's done since Marvel has been a flop and he needs them. Like, he's doing okay as an actor without them. So it would make sense if he didn't want to come back. I don't know. I feel like bringing Iron Man back for Secret Wars is just such a, like, dumb move to do. Like, I can't imagine them actually going through the whole process of actually making Secret Wars and never bringing Iron Man back. That just seems like I can't see it. But we'll see. We'll see. Do you guys buy any of this? Left one for you says, take the Iron Man suit, put a chick in it. Oh, God. And make it gay and lame. Gwyneth Paltrow can lead a new Disney Plus show called Iron Woman. Well, they were actually already trying to replace Robert Downey Jr. with the woman. They have an Ironheart show coming out starring Riri Williams, who's supposed to be like the new Iron Man Jr. I don't think that's gonna work out, and I think that was a terribly awful position to put that new character and actress in, because like I don't think even if they got another white guy to take over as Iron Man, I still think it would not have been fair, because RDJ was so iconic. Nicholas says, even if his career flops and he leaves, he still has cash for life. Right? Like, he made $75 million just up front for Endgame, and then apparently he had an 8% back-end deal, which means he might have gotten an extra $55 million off of Endgame, which means he made like well over $100 million on just one movie. And he's been in a lot of Marvel movies, and he made over $100 million on one movie. So yeah, he is set for life. He never needs to work again. If he did come back, it would just be for the love of the character and probably nothing more. It's not like he needs the money. Trust me, he does not need the money. Oh, you only want the drama, Star Film Studio? I love how much you guys just live for the drama like I do. But anyway, moving on to the next topic. I do want to talk about Pixar, because it actually sounds like Disney is trying to make good moves here. Like, shocker, like Disney doing something right, but they are. So, during COVID, they sent 3 Pixar films straight to Disney+. They didn't give them proper theatrical releases. Those 3 films were Soul, Luca, and Turning Red. And a lot of people credit that move to the decline of Pixar, because it set the standard for a lot of families that they can just wait for any Pixar film. They don't have to see it in theaters because they can just wait to go see it on Disney Plus when it eventually arrives there. So that's been a huge complaint from a lot of people. They feel like Disney really hurt Pixar by sending all their movies to Disney Plus during the pandemic. So it sounds like Disney's trying to turn things around here, because they're actually going to send all of those movies that never got a theatrical release to theaters next year, and they have a whole trailer for it, which is kind of nice. Just saying like, oh, you guys fell in love with these movies, now you get to see them in the theater when they were meant to be seen. And I'm just like, okay, this is nice. Again, we have Soul coming in January 12th. February 9th, they have Turning Red, and then March 22nd, they have Luca. Now, I don't know if these movies will actually do super well. Like, I'm not expecting these movies to, like, suddenly break out, like, oh, it's gonna make, like, $500 million like Elemental. Like, I don't think that, just because these movies have been available on streaming for so long, and if you wanted to see these movies, you've definitely already seen them. But I do think just the mere fact that these films will be in a theater will probably bring a lot more legitimacy to them that maybe they didn't have before because they were just streaming releases. So I think this is more just about helping Pixar's brand than it is about like recouping money, because I don't expect they like any of these really to make a ton of money in theaters. It's just more about like saying, yes, these movies are real, legit Pixar films that are theatrical worthy. It's more just like a branding thing. And that's why I think it's really smart. If you're gonna do if there's any way to make people believe that Pixar films are worthy of the theater again, this is one way to do it. So I'm glad that they're at least trying to address this issue. The Blue Gecko Nerd says, are these going to be in theaters worldwide? I believe they are. I believe they are. It's going to be a limited release. It's not going to be super wide. But I believe you should be able to find them. Jessica Page says, I will happily see Soul in the theater, but I don't see this movie being a big moneymaker for Disney because they've been on Disney Plus for so long. That's exactly what I said. And out of these three, I actually like Soul the most. I think Soul actually stands up to even like Pixar's earlier work. I think Soul is a really great movie. I like Luca. Turning Red is probably my least favorite out of these three, though I know it has a lot of fans. So I am curious to see how they do in theaters, but I just don't expect them to do like huge numbers, because as you said, they have been on Disney Plus for a while now. Anise says they might do well because there aren't many movies in theaters for kids. That's true, but again, you could just watch this stuff at home. I don't know, going to the theater for a family is like so expensive now. I don't think you're gonna like take your kids out to just see any movie unless it's something you guys really want to see. Maiden says, cool idea, but they've been out too long for people to get that excited to go, especially when people are usually watching these movies on desensitized TVs at home repeatedly. Really nice idea, though. Yeah, like I said, I don't think these movies are going to make a ton of money, but I think it's more just like establishing these movies as theatrical worthy. So I think it's a nice step in the right direction, at the very least. But anyway, any other thoughts on this before we get to the member question? The member question is about this. Evil Connor says, seeing that Pixar lamp crush that I at home made me want to be in theaters again, like I was a kid in the beginning of a Pixar movie. Okay, Evil Connor, you wish you had seen these movies in theaters. Honestly, I do think Soul probably would have been a lot bigger if it was released in theaters, just because I think it was so good. And I'm hoping that by re-releasing it, it will allow people to remember that movie, because I think people forgot about it, and it deserves to be, I think Soul deserves to be, like, remembered like all the other Pixar classics. I really think it's that good. Josh Loves Movies says, Soul is one of my favorite Pixar movies, but I love Turning Red and Luca so much as well. I'm glad you also like Soul. Alright, let's get to the member question, because like I said, I did ask you guys about this. I wanted you guys, your guys' opinion. Do you think this move will help turn things around for Pixar at all, or do you think it's too late? So let's see what you guys said. The first comment here is from HP93. I don't know if it will save the brand, but I do think it's a good idea. They have a chance at reaching a larger audience. Also, I feel like we've seen theatrical releases / re-releases of older movies becoming really popular. Well, they have been doing a lot of re-releases lately. Like, they re-released the Nightmare Before Christmas. I actually saw the re-release of Titanic they did earlier this year. That was fun. And I saw the re-release of Jurassic Park. I just saw that like a couple months ago. So they have been doing a lot of re-releases. Maybe they'll start doing them more if they actually get like really successful. I don't know. That would be fun though. There are a lot of old movies I would love to see again in theaters. Thank you for the comment though. Quiet Rabbit says, not sure if it'll help the brand's perception, but I am so unbelievably excited to learn that they're doing this. Luca is my favorite Pixar movie, and I've always been so sad that I wasn't able to experience it on the big screen. Well, now you can. So, Quiet Rabbit, this is your opportunity. You can finally see Luca in theaters. Evil Connor says, I just told my friend last week that I'd love to see Luca in theaters. Not only does it have a gorgeous score and story, but it's also visually stunning. I literally cannot watch this film without crying in a good way. It is a gorgeous movie. Super gorgeous. Makes me want to go visit Italy myself. Definitely the kind of movie that probably would have benefited just from seeing it on the big screen, for sure. The legendary movie critic says, I'm so happy that Disney is finally releasing Soul, Turning Red, and Luca in theaters after all of them became smash hits on Disney Plus, as it will cause families to go back to watching Pixar movies in theaters before Inside Out 2 and Elio. I think Pixar best move is to help the brand to make more original animated movies and less cash grab sequels, especially after Elemental was a solid hit this year. I still think that they can do a lot of really big original movies. I don't think they have to keep doing sequels. Original movies still can do really well in theaters, like Barbie and Oppenheimer, two original movies that did really well in theaters. You just have to, like, offer something interesting, something extra to get people excited to, like, actually want to, like, leave their house and go to the theater. Oppenheimer had the IMAX experience. The whole way the marketing sold that movie was just like, oh, see a nuclear bomb go off in IMAX. Like, that was something that people felt like they had to see on the big screen because it was sold that way. Barbie obviously was a huge spectacle. Loved seeing the huge Barbie town. It became a huge social event. It became something you had to see or you were getting FOMO. So I think if you can make original movies work and be successful, you just have to, like, put something a little extra in it to, like, incentivize people to go. Like, what's novel about it? Why do I have to see this in a theater versus just waiting to see this at home? It just has to be something uniquely made for the big screen. Whether that's shooting entirely in IMAX or doing something, I don't know, some gimmick or something, I don't know. It's just, you have to offer something to get people interested in seeing it in theaters, or else they're just going to wait and see it at home. Nicholas says Luca is very Ghibli-esque, although its quaintness makes it seem very streaming. That's true. I do feel like they were going for a very Ghibli feel with Luca. I still think that Ghibli is better, but I do like and appreciate what they were doing with Luca. Luca's a very nice film. I like it. Chevron Jr. says, with the fate of nostalgia, it looks like everything will be re-released in cinemas. Coraline was re-released back in August. I know. I'm so sad I missed it. So maybe this could be a turning point, even though I wish that Holes... Yes, Britt, I know you're tired of me talking about Holes every time, but honestly, if they could re-release the film into cinemas for its 20th anniversary, that would be great. You know what? Chevron Jr., I hope they do that for you. You are the world's biggest Holes fan by far. I don't think there's another like Holes fan that is just more, you love that movie and I love that for you. I really hope they re-release that movie. Again, I am going to talk about it. I don't know what day. I guess I got to figure that out. But I did promise you guys I was going to actually give you a review for Holes because it's become such a thing on this show. So one of these days, in the next couple of weeks, I will do a review for Holes, so look out for that, and it'll all be for you. All for you. So I hope you appreciate it. And now I'm seeing all the holes in the chat. Anyway, Cheetah Viper says, I'm not sure if re-releasing movies in theaters will save any brand. Tickets are expensive. Parents might need to find a sitter in order to bring older kids to the movies. Inflation has some people counting every dollar they spend. FOMO isn't a thing when a movie will be on streaming in less than 2 months. True. Pixar might have some great movies, but that could save the image of Pixar, so they don't only make sequels. Only time will tell if this helps or not. I think this move alone won't be enough to, like, completely turn everything around for Pixar, but I think it's at least a good first step. Boy Kachina, thank you so much for the super chat. Hit the like button. That's very true. I don't say it enough. I guess I should say it more often. But yes, if you're watching, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. It would help the channel. Also, please make sure to subscribe, because a lot of people who watch my streams actually aren't subscribed. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my Holes review, because obviously that's what you come to this channel for. But anyway, thank you so much for the super chat, Boy Kachina. Alexander Padilla says, hey Brittany, and I think this is a horrible idea. Wait, what? These movies have been out on Disney Plus for years already, so people have watched them. The only one that's worthy for a theatrical release is Soul. Soul was an excellent film. Totally agree. Luca was trash. Oh, I don't think it was trash. And Turning Red was cringe. It was a little cringy. But at good parts, although it had good parts. So it's always, as always, keep up the great work. Yeah, I don't entirely agree with some of your assessments, but you're totally fine to have your own opinions. I do agree with you on Soul, though. Definitely, Soul is an excellent film. And then I guess, I mean, again, I don't think these movies are gonna make a ton of money in theaters. So if you're just thinking like, oh, are these movies actually gonna become a hit? No, I don't think they are, and I don't think Disney's really expecting them to be a hit. That's why they're releasing three Pixar movies within like a couple months of each other. If they actually thought these movies would be a massive hit, they would not be releasing them so close together. But it's just more about making sure these movies are seen as theatrical worthy. I really think it's all just a branding thing. But totally respect your opinion. Left on Foria says, if they offered at a discounted price, I think people would see it. People are not going to pay $15, especially if you have a family, for movies they have already seen. Totally agree. Like I said, it's very expensive to go to the movies as a family nowadays. I totally don't see a ton of people going to see these in theaters, but who knows? Who knows? Natanya Mulling says, with the price of movie tickets, it's cheaper to stream it. I think most people will. Nicholas Wilson says, these are three crackers. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I had to read the rest of this comment because sometimes you guys say some wild stuff, so I had no idea where that was going. But anyway, so this comment is safe to read. These are three crackers and deserve to do well, but I can't help thinking there's a theatrical content shortage due to the strikes and they're just something to show. I mean, they're definitely taking advantage of the fact that the next, like, maybe I'll do this again. In fact, I think I'll make a whole stream of it. But I did show you guys, especially early on in 2024, there actually isn't like a ton of stuff coming out. So Disney is definitely taking advantage of a barren release date, like barren weeks at the beginning of the year, because there is just not a lot coming out. So hey, maybe these movies could actually do at least moderately well if people just really want to see something in theaters, because there's nothing else they're going to be able to see. TSX Tina, thank you so much for the super chat. I actually think Soul is the worst of these three. It's literally Inside Out. But I love Inside Out, so maybe that's just the kind of film I like. I also think Inside Out is great. I'm really excited for the sequel. But, you know, you can have your own opinion. That's totally fair. I love Soul. I think it's amazing, but totally can disagree. That's fine. But anyway, getting back to this. Edgemon says, nope, all of these movies except Soul released here because Disney Plus wasn't available yet and no one was interested. Oh, I forgot about that. Disney Plus wasn't even available worldwide at first. Yeah, that's very true. Near all of these seats were empty on opening day, and I think none of these movies are that good or iconic to have an audience. Oh man, none? I think they could have been iconic. I don't know. I feel like both Soul and Luca could have had a chance, at least. You don't think these movies are iconic enough to have an audience that will see the movie, but it will be fun to see Disney bomb every month. Oh my god. And rip theatrical release of Luca, who will never see the light of day because of Kung Fu Panda 4. Oh yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4 I think will actually do really, really well. If Luca is opening close to that, that was a dumb mistake on Disney's part, for sure. I think Kung Fu Panda is going to do really, really well. I love that you're just like, none of these movies are even good or iconic enough. I don't know. I kind of agree with you on Turning Red. I don't really care for Turning Red that much, even though I know a lot of people do like it. I think Luca and Soul are really good, though. So I personally disagree, but I totally get if you don't think these movies are that great. To be honest, I don't know if those movies would have been a hit if they had gone to theaters. I think there's a chance they still could have underperformed. At least, like, just because Luca was so simple, I don't know if Luca was ever going to be like this massive hit anyway. But you might have a point. You might have a point. I still think that they're good movies, though. But you're right. I don't know if they were always going to be a hit if they did go to theaters. So who knows? We'll never know. Maybe in another alternate universe, those movies released and we would know like how they would have done first out of the gate. But we'll never know. RuPaul's Drag Race Superfan says, it's too late for these movies. They're all on streaming. Okay. Why the hell will I go pay to see them when I have them at home? Also, it won't save Pixar because they will all flop. This shows that Disney knows it this shows that Disney knows that it effed up and should have pushed all of these movies back so they could have it come out in theaters. Disney is desperate to make money as Disney has lost $1 billion, and even if Deadpool and Inside Out are successful, they will not repair the damaged brand of Disney. Also, 2025 is not looking good for Disney because of how iconic 2025 is shaping up with Shrek 5 and TV shows like Stranger Things with its last season. Also, people will be saving up money in 2024, probably to buy GTA 6 in 2025. So Disney is screwed everywhere. Yeah, I mean, again, totally agree with you. I actually can't really refute any of your points. I think it's so funny that you guys are like, yay, more Disney drama. I feel like I've cultivated an audience that just loves Disney drama. I don't care. I'll be your Disney drama influencer. It's fine. But anyway, yeah, I actually think the next couple of years of Disney look very, very worrisome for them. Again, you guys know I am not. I have a very bad feeling about Deadpool 3. It's either gonna be the huge hit that people really want it to be, or it's going to be a career-ending, genre-ending flop. There's really no in between. I'm very nervous about that film. I still think Inside Out 2 could do very well. I think there's enough hype and interest in it that I'm hoping it can do well. And then in 2025, yeah, 2025 is looking insane. Like, you've got Shrek 5 coming out. You've got Stranger Things, as you said, but there's also, I did see a tweet that there's like a ton of stuff coming out. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, there's like a ton of stuff coming out in 2025 that's not Disney. And I could totally see if people are still really angry with Disney by then, like, I think the next 2 years could really be bad for them. I don't know when they're going to be able to turn things around, to be honest. I don't really see like a comeback year for them on the horizon, just looking at their future release slate. Like I said, one of the streams I want to do just for like the year end, like a year end stream basically, I want to do a whole like looking forward to 2024, like movies coming out next year. We are going to do a stream where we look at Disney movies coming out next year. You guys will see. You guys will see that I don't think next year is going to be a good year for them either, to be honest. Like, they have that freaking Mufasa movie. You guys know how much I hate that live action Lion King movie. They have that freaking Mufasa movie, which is a spin-off of of a freaking live action remake, which I can't believe they made. And I think Mufasa's going to flop terribly. I think Mufasa's going to bomb, like Indiana Jones style level of bomb, but we'll see. Robert Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. Can we just skip 2024 and go straight to 2025? That year is going to be a good year for movies. Oh yeah, I think 2025 is actually going to be a huge comeback year for the industry, just looking at the release slate. Again, we'll go over it in a future live stream. But yeah, 2024 I actually think still looks like another bad year for the industry, especially Disney in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. I think those were all the comments. Yep. Okay. So I do have WTF news, so let's get to that. The WTF news I have today is really just kind of fun news. But here's Hugh Grant being Hugh Grant, where he's just like, the thing about Hugh Grant is he never lies in interviews. He will always tell you his most honest opinion, even when it's not positive for the thing that he's supposed to be promoting. And he did not fail here. He's in the new Wonka movie as an Oompa Loompa. And this is what he had to say about being an Oompa Loompa. He says, I couldn't have hated the whole thing more. He states it was because the mocap was like a crown of thorns, very uncomfortable. I just love so much that he's supposed to be promoting this movie. And he's like, yep, I hated the whole thing. I couldn't have hated it more. I hated being an Oompa Loompa. It was awful. It was terrible. Like, to be fair, if this was Rachel Zegler, or Brie Larson or someone like that who made these exact kind of comments, people would be all over them. People would be like, how dare you say such a thing? How dare you be, such and such and ungrateful and all of that. Like, I don't know. It's very, very interesting that he gets a different reaction. But he's still very much like, yeah, I don't care about any of this. I don't like this. I don't like being an Oompa Loompa. And I'm like, why did you sign on to this if you did not want to be in a mocap suit? Like, did you not know that's what they were going to do? But anyway, what do you guys think about this comment? Robert Bell says, why couldn't they hire a dwarf actor for the role? Right? They should have hired an actual dwarf actor to play the role. Give an actual actor with dwarfism a job. instead of just like taking a regular guy and then putting him in an awful mocap suit he apparently didn't even like to wear. So I'm just like, I, I, honestly, the same thing is happening here that's happening with the Snow White movie, where I feel like they were so afraid to offend actors with dwarfism or just little people in general that I think they overthought it and actually did something more offensive. And I think this is prime example of that. Like, now, not only did you take away a job from an actor with dwarfism here, but now you also have the guy who is playing that role being like, no, it was awful for the exact reason he shouldn't have been playing it, which is that he had to be in a mocap suit the entire time. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how Wonka is gonna do either, to be honest. The reviews are very, very mixed. I have no idea how I'm gonna feel about it. You guys know I was actually very, very excited for Wonka. Like, you guys know I was super into it. I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I actually like both versions. I like the 70s one and the 2005 one with Johnny Depp. I like both of them. I'm really into this IP. I'm into this world. So I was super ready for this movie. But everything I'm seeing from the marketing and now the trailers and the reviews, it's I gotta be honest, my interest in this movie is declining a lot. Who's actually gonna see Wonka? Um, Rodney Dollar says, I mean, it's nice that Variety is putting Holly and Rachel and actors on actors, but yeah, why couldn't they get actual dwarfs? Thanks, Peter Dinklage. Do you think they didn't get dwarves because of the Peter Dinklage comment he made about Snow White? Do you think that one comment from Peter Dinklage might have effed out a lot of actors with dwarfism from jobs? Because it's a very real possibility. I don't think that was, to be fair, I don't think that was Peter Dinklage's intention. I don't think that's what he wanted, but I think the end result might have been that exact thing. Um, Miss Megan says there's a Venn diagram between Wonka and Snow White similarities, apparently. There really are. There really are. I know it does give Doolittle vibes, Arvin. I totally agree with you. Scorpio Shadow says that's Disney's fault in the beginning. Why so many people blame Rachel Zegler and not Disney? You could blame both. You could blame both. But anyway, I do have one more. Oh, wait. I have a super chat from Nagisa. Thank you so much for the super chat. There's a lot of good anime next year, no movies. What's coming out anime-wise next year? I actually don't know. I just know there's actually not a ton of good, like, big movies coming out because I've been looking and I'm like, what the heck am I even going to talk about next year? But it's good that there's a lot of anime. Again, maybe I should talk about games more. I don't know. Do you guys want me to talk about games? So let's... Oh, wait, no. I thought I had another WTF news. No, that was the only thing. Never mind. That's actually the end of the stream. I had something prepared, but I don't think I had it ready, so that's actually it. Thank you, everyone, for coming to my show. I feel like this show was a little bit less structured than my usual one, so sorry about that. Next stream will be a lot better. But I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As usual, I love these conversations. I love these discussions with you guys. These streams are really fun. I hope you're enjoying them. I am working on editing my Godzilla -1 review. That's going to go up tomorrow. So if you didn't see my review for that movie that I talked about in the stream yesterday, you will see my solo review coming up tomorrow. But yes, really great stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. And I'll see